And welcome back, everybody. This is Nightsaber Z42, and there's something odd in this video. Yes, I recorded the entire series of videos, actually, from this episode. I think there's like 4 videos, and something happened and it didn't record audio, so I'm having to redo commentary all over again and do some like sound effects and whatnot. And I think I can do a Merida impression pretty well, so I'll be doing the voiceover for the girl. Of course, Merida's from Brave, which sounds exactly like that girl. Can't lie, sounds just like her. Anyways, we're in the Tower of the Deeplight, and for this part, I was like, you know, it's gonna be one giant puzzle, one after the other. And I was like, I waited a couple days before I did this, and then I came back and then I did it. It was like, man, I'm glad I waited a couple days, because my brain would have been hurting if I had to do it right afterwards. But anyways, there's a series of lights and they're different colored. And by the way, I get lucky quite a bit. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just going with the flow and I actually get lucky, like what I did right there. But you have these different colored lights. Some are red, blue, and green. And you have to get them to these like receivers that have that color. And what they do, my dog, what they really do to try to screw you up is that they'll actually have it so where you have to mix colors, but they don't exactly have a good way of telling you that. It's just a different color that you don't have, and it took me a while to figure that out, and I'll point that out in the future when I actually come across it. But there's also these little paths that you can go through, of course, for secrets and whatnot. And I went up ahead to see if that connected, and it didn't, so I went back down. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun right here. So there's like a giant laser beam going around, and you have to kind of get behind the glass to shield yourself from it. And of course, they give you some treasure right there, try and trick you up, but you know, I just went back and hid. And for some reason, you can't go through this little area right here. It's kind of weird why they would even have that if you can't even use this glass to shield yourself. So I was like, it's either a bug or you really can't do that. And so I ended up getting hit right there. I thought getting hit by the laser was an insta-death, but it is not. And apparently this white laser also acts as a physical object. Yeah, who would have thought that lasers are actually physical objects? So if you get caught behind a laser like that, it'll just push you back. And I was pretty lucky that it didn't push me back with the current there, so oh well. Here we have another puzzle, and I see that extra secret over there, and I kind of followed along. It's like there's that little hallway or whatnot with the current is, and I'm like, yeah, you're probably gonna have to go all the way to the top and take that back down. So there's another puzzle, and it's like, wow, okay, so now we got to deal with red, green, and blue on one side, and then I kind of went up and checked this area out just to scope. In puzzles, it's always a good idea to check out what your ending goals are first, because if you don't know what you're doing, like what you're striving for, then it's only going to be that much tougher. And so I'm looking for the endpoints, what's supposed to open up at the end, where am I supposed to go, and then work backwards from there. And that's how I typically use puzzles. So you have 2 areas that have red, green, and blue lights. And of course, there are these other receivers up on each side. So you have to figure out how to get the blue, the green, and the red to go into those receivers. And some of the colors will actually turn the gears. I think it was the blue turned that gear, and then the red will turn the other one. And so, yeah, what we're trying to do here is get that green to go up into that green receiver, because the blue and the red, they don't really matter. All they do is turn the gears. And so what we need to do is get the green to bounce off the mirrors until it gets to the green receiver. And I think it took me a little bit before I actually contemplated that. So I went to the other side to see what was up, and it's more or less the same thing, except you're trying to get the red receiver up here. The blue just changes the gears. Or not. Yes. The blue just changes the gear. And so we're able to get the red receiver in pretty quick. And then there's this thing. Now, I don't know about you, but to be honest, that looks like a green, like a different shade of green. And when we come back to it, I will kind of explain like just what the hell that is, because seriously, it really just tripped me up for the longest time. So I'm going to mess with it for quite a bit, thinking, hey, that is kind of a receiver that will basically output whatever it's inputted. And so if you've kind of already guessed, you have to mix two colors into that to make a different color. And I can't actually remember which color it is. I think it's green that you have to do, blue and green, to get that weird color. And so I'm still trying to figure out, like, maybe if I just curve it up. But the thing is about these gates that are opening up, the laser actually has to stay on the receiver in order for it to remain open. You can't just hit it once like before and expect it to stay. And so here I'm trying to figure out a way to get that blue to kind of just stay right there. Or actually, I think the green is what needs to be in the receiver. So I go back to the other side because I'm like, I don't want to mess with that one right now. It's like there's something weird going on. And then I realize I can cross shoot this green laser to go directly up here. And then from there, I can do something with this. And it took me a while to figure out exactly what I'm doing with this. But eventually, I just turn this gear right here until I have a constant green laser going through. And then I'm like, what? Why is this not working? Green is going to green. Why is green not going? Why is this not doing anything? And then it took me a really long time. And then I'm like, well, that blue only changes that gear. I thought it changed the gear up above. Doesn't, so got to reset the red. And then I'm like, maybe there's a bug or something. Maybe if I actually physically put the green on there, it'll work, but it doesn't. So we're gonna like just fiddle around, contemplate life and existence. I'm like, what is going on? Why is it not working? It's like, is it not? Okay. So a green also needs to come through here. And so this is probably about the easier puzzle of the two. So I'm going to start working on this one. Just using the gears to actually change it so each mirror is going through. I got really lucky there. I didn't really have to mess with the red at all. And it just kind of worked out. So I was kind of hoping that gate up there would work, would open up, but it doesn't. You have to do it from the other side. And so I go back down, and now it's time to work on the right side. And, all that amount of me fiddling with the left side didn't give me much time to think about what to do for the right side. So I'm looking around to see if there's any clues, anything at all, because this is just like baffling with me right now. Why is green not working with green? And then I get this idea. What happens if I mix them together? And it's not that. You don't do that. Instead, you actually have to get it to mix on the receiver part. The input to the output. Eventually I will get that. You can't do that for obvious reasons. It'll just go back as soon as you release it. And so almost out of that time. So green is outputting green. The input is outputting green. So if I mix the blue right here, it'll actually, if I mix the blue into the input, it'll output that, I don't know what color that would be. It's like a greenish color. And it really does take me a while to figure it out. It's like, even as I'm watching it, it's like, man, I spent like 10 minutes on this one puzzle. Well, not really, but I'm gonna take a drink because I am like really hungry. It's lunchtime. Yep. We're just gonna look around and save a bunch. There's really nothing that I can do here. So it's like I still don't understand. What is going on? I want that treasure too. So eventually I'll conclude that there's really not much more to do on the left side. So we're gonna go back to the right side, and there's gotta be something that I'm missing. So yeah, that doesn't even reach there. I don't even know what I was thinking for that. And then of course, as soon as you release it, yeah, nothing. And of course, that is still close because you got to do it from the other side. So I'm like getting frustrated. I'm like hitting it because I'm like, man, this is a stupid bug. It sucks. And so then I get the idea to actually put that through and it moves. So I'm like, oh my God, are you shitting me right now? That's like 2 different colors at one receiver. That's stupid. The game actually doesn't explain that. It doesn't explain that in any way. And the colors are very close together to my eyes, to where I kind of just think that it's, you know, supposed to be green. Okay, in this new area, there's like a bunch of jellyfish. I'm not sure if they're infinite or not, but they basically come at such a way that they're just going to eliminate you if you just swim around. They'll kind of just go into you. And because they have a large area of effect, bigger than what you have in the water right now, they're just going to destroy you. So the thing is, you got to destroy all this coral, which I'll do in just a moment, so you can get some reflecting stuff. And what happens is one of these, I actually die, I think. Yeah, I died right there. So what actually happens is you need one of these beams to come and power that machine right there, which will actually spin around and destroy everything. And I think this is the introduction to where this giant white beam destroys anything that comes across it. I'm like, I want that. Give me that gold. And so what you got to do is just let this go around for a while and let it do its thing. Of course, it can't reach up there, but what you got to do, what you probably noticed, there's another laser. And so with that other laser, we're going to want to get to the other side. And then I realize, oh crap, there's no way I can get across, because there's a larger white beam down below, and then there's a larger beam up above. And so there's really nothing that you can do. So you just got to basically turn it off. And then if you do it on the other side, nothing happens yet, because this is going down to that gate. And so what you can do is you can actually hit that, boom, got hit myself, and switch that all the way up. And then I actually follow the beam, and then I notice that there's coral like blocking it. So what you got to do is actually hit the coral, destroy it, so then it goes right through. And then as soon as you do that, it makes red, green, and blue. Okay, so that has to go somewhere. And remember, white beams are actually physical. I didn't know that at the time. So I actually do some pretty stupid stuff. Like, I could try to go past the beams. But then I eventually get the idea. Well, I'm stuck. I know that. I get the idea that I should be destroying the coral. And I actually follow this up quite a bit. Notice that the white beam actually destroyed the 2 pillars right there. And so, yep. Some chance to get some treasure right there. Just excellent. Now, you don't have to do the red, green, and blue part, but you will be missing out on the treasure down below if you do. And so, of course, you know me, I have to get the treasure. So I actually go back and I'm looking for a different way. And so I start destroying the coral because coral is blocking something important. That much is obvious. And it's actually blocking the mirror. And the mirror, you can redirect it to hit one of the receivers for the red. So there you go. Red receiver's done. So I'm going to destroy all coral just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And here's where the problem lies. There's a big white beam blocking my way and there's no way across. So I actually try to go through and then I realized that white beams are actually physical. Who would have thought? Lasers being physical. So I try to go around and then this time I was just going to use a sub to basically go on the other way. What you could have done, what I could have done was go all the way up and then go around the beam. If the mirror is actually reflecting it back down, I could go around the mirror. And so that opens up the gate on that side and that just leads back to the right area where I had that struggle before. So nothing special there, except I think I'm just going to go around. Yeah, I'm just going around to get back to the sub, I think. Yeah. And then you bring the sub back and you can take it through the gate. So basically what you need to do is open up the gate so you can move the sub back. Now you only need to do that for one of the gates. You don't have to do it for both, but there's treasure on both sides. So there you go. Now we're going to head back. We're going to head upwards. And we can destroy that. Didn't have my magma bombs. And yeah, there we go. Equip it. There's another laser maze that you have to figure out to get the white light up into that receiver down below. And of course, there's a thing up here that needs to be powered. And of course, there's treasure up here. So I'm going to get the treasure first. And that's a sonar thing, which we'll get here in a moment. We'll have a use for that in just a second. So first up, the white beam. We need to get it through the maze, which means we have to be turning the gears so that the white beam will go all the way up into the receiver. So that's just basically a matter of powering up the gears until it fits, right? Yeah, it's that easy. So red does the first two, the green will do the middle two, and then the blue will do the bottom two. So that's where the problem lies. You gotta actually turn it until it goes. So green is gonna be middle two, which I observed before. And then it's just a matter of turning the red one. Yep, turn the red one. There we go. Turn it again. And there we go. Crisscrossing all the way through. And that actually does this giant sonar thing. So here's my Merida voice. As Marin connected the final beam, the entire tower began to vibrate with a powerful hymn. A massive blast of sound shot out from the top of the tower. By the way, she's now Australian. Marin was left dizzy and shaken by the blast. Was the Deeplight some kind of giant sonar beacon? If so, what had it been used for? With a terrible sinking feeling, she realized she already knew the answer. The Deeplight had been used to hunt the Marrows. Bum bum bum. So, the tower's sonar pulse had revealed a new location to her, but now she wanted to ensure it would never be activated again. The only way to be sure was to remove the sonar emitter. So there we go. Marin is now Australian, which is a much better fit for her, in my opinion, instead of the probably the Irish voice that she is. So what you gotta do, take the sonar off. And the cool thing is, we actually get it. So we get a sonar, emit a sonar ping to reveal hidden paths and interactable objects. Yay! So press B to use the sonar ping. And this is used for unlocking this sonar like gate right here. And also revealing walls. I like how they put a secret right there to show you that, hey, it actually shows you secret passages and stuff and whatnot. And so the only thing that's left is to go down through this current right here. And there's some treasure right there. And I kind of already know that there's treasure. And the way that you got to do is go through this current to get to it. The tricky part is actually getting to it before you pass it. And so I'm checking to make sure I'm not like going past it and whatnot. And so, did I pass it yet? Nope. Did I pass it yet? Yes. You passed it. Now, here's the weird thing. That's actually not what you're supposed to do. And I'm using the sonar here because I'm like, well, there must be another way because I've been holding left the entire time. So I'm using the sonar like all over, and there it is. Secret passage right there on the very top. Okay, so giant white beam of death. Yeah, you know, avoid it. Oh, but there's another one on the bottom. I kind of didn't see that one. So hide in the glass blocks and come around. Get 75 gold for that, and then just wait and get back to sub. Of course, I could have just held the left button to automatically teleport back to the sub, but you know, what's fun in that? Okay, so that's done. There's 2 more secrets down there. You can see, actually 3 more. One's at the very bottom. And so I'm like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get these treasures. Oh, wrong way. Get the treasures before I end the episode. And let's see. Was it here? Yep, it was right here. This one was weird. I don't do this one in this episode because at the time I forgot that white beams actually destroy those walls, those types of walls that crumble. So, yeah. Also, I totally didn't know that green, red, and blue put together make white. That should have been obvious because, you know, if you do Photoshop stuff and you bump up the RGB, get pure white. Yeah, I was never a very art person. Yeah, so color stuff like that goes over my head. So I'm like, you know, I have no idea. Maybe there's a secret to get the sub through. There isn't a secret passage to get the sub through. So I'm just kind of fumbling through with it. I even think maybe the yellow beam might be destructible. Yeah, no, it isn't. Got the right idea, just not the right implementation of it. So, yeah, no secret passages. I thought there might have been a secret passage to go up and around the pillars, but no. There isn't. So, yep. Go back to the sub. Try something else. I even think I think I do a magma bomb, thinking that maybe I can like pull it through before it explodes. But no, that doesn't work. I don't even know what I was thinking for that. I get out, I try to pull it before it explodes, and nope. That is not how physics work. So, oh well. I probably had about enough of this right now. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do something else. Let's see if we can actually do something. And look, there's a switch right there. Sonar switch. So we'll go ahead and do our sonar. Go right on through. And it's treasure somewhere around here. Of course, if you use the sonar, you can also do hidden objects. So I'll go ahead and pull that and get that. So, hey, I got 1 out of the 3. Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, what's this? It's another secret area. Oh, phone be buzzing. It's another secret area, one that actually isn't listed on the map. So, that was a pretty sweet find. So I'm like 2 for 3, I guess, or 2 for 4, since technically there's 4 now. So, that was a nice secret that I managed to find. And I'm still like, I don't know what is going on here. There's got to be some way of getting there. So, anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Check the description for my Facebook and Twitter information. And while you're at it, give this video a huge thumbs up to support the series. And subscribe if you would like to see more. I will see you guys in the next video.